6 p.m. last Tuesday, I closed a 15k USD deal. No pitch deck, no proposal, no let me follow up, just one conversation, 23 minutes. The client had said yes before I even mentioned the price. The majority of people beg for clients. I closed 10k plus deals without pitching at all. I've closed over $100 million in deals across my career. It's one script and it works like a filter, not a sales pitch. If you're tired of going on to sales calls and them going nowhere, or you hate the feeling like you're convincing people to work with you, almost begging them, stay until the end because the last technique completely eliminates buyer's remorse. I know exactly what most agency owners get wrong when they head on sales calls. They think it's about persuasion, they think it's about building rapport, objection handling. Well, it isn't. Number one is authenticity. You should be authentic at all times. But the best sales calls are the ones that don't feel like sales calls at all. They feel like consultations where the client realizes that you are the obvious choice for their problem. I'm going to break down the exact 4-part script that I use. The authority opener sets the frame in the first 30 seconds. The belief shifting probe that reveals whether they're actually ready to buy or not. The calm close, don't blink, that makes the price land without resistance. And the objection flip that turns hesitation into clarity. Most sales calls are won or lost in the first 30 seconds of the conversation. Most people start calls with small talk, or so tell me a little bit about this part of your business, whatever. That immediately puts you at a lower status position. You are the one asking for permission to learn about them if you do that. Instead, ask about their biggest bottlenecks first. Here's how I open every single call. Hey Sam, thanks for joining. Before we dive in, I just want to make sure that we use this time wisely. I know that your time is precious. I've worked with a lot of recruitment agencies, or whatever their industry is, so I'll ask a few questions, and then if I feel like I can genuinely help and we can solve this together, I'll let you know, and we can proceed from there. Does that sound good? Do you notice what happened there? I position myself as the expert who's deciding if they're a fit. You set the expectation that you'll be asking the questions, and gave yourself an out. If I can genuinely help, which means you're not desperate, and they can feel that through the camera. So why does this opener work so well? Well, it's because it does 3 things instantly. It sets the frame. You're the expert evaluating them, not the other way around. It eliminates awkward energy. You've felt that on calls before, I'm sure. There's no pressure because you've already said that you might not even work together. So now it's just a discussion about a solution, whether you can help the business or not. And it creates a filter. Time wasters hate this opener because they want you to convince them. Serious buyers love it because it signals that you're selective and that you can solve the problem that they've got. Here's where I used to completely blow it. It took me losing a 22k deal to realize the person who talks less controls the call. So guys, what's next? From here, and we're going to have some transparency at the moment, but from here, you need to take control without dominating, right? You don't want to feel aggressive towards them, but you have to take control. And that's where smart questions come in. Most people ask surface level questions, you get surface level answers. I ask questions that shift beliefs and moves their brain around in ways that they didn't even know was happening. If you've ever started a call with, so tell me about your business, and immediately felt like you were chasing your tail, type guilty in the comments below, because I have. Guys, high ticket sales isn't persuasion. It's authenticity and precision. That's it. I've never been one really concerned about pissing people off, and this is going to piss off the relationship first crowd, right? If someone needs 3 calls to decide whether to work with you or not, they are not your client, mate. They are shopping. Here's the exact question structure that I use, and I ask these in order, and I do not move forward until I get clear answers on each one. The first one is, what's the goal you're trying to hit? This tells you what they want, not what they need, what they want. And people buy based off of what they want, not what they need. The next question is, what's blocked you so far? What are the blockers? This reveals their real problem. Most people will say things like, I haven't found the right tool, I haven't found the right fit, I don't have time. That's surface level. You need to dig deeper before you move on. If we solve this, what's that worth to you? This is anchoring your value before you ever mention price. If they say, this would completely transform my business, you're not selling a 10k service anymore, you're selling a transformation. Why now? That's it. 2 words. This single question reveals urgency, commitment level, and whether they're just shopping around or actually ready to buy. If they give you a vague answer, like we're just exploring options, they're not ready. If they say, I've been putting this off for 6 months and I'm losing money every week, that's your next client. So quick question. How many of you have ever had a sales call where the person seemed interested, but they never bought? That's usually because you didn't ask, why now? The golden snitch. So we've done all the legwork now. This is the part where most people overthink. Dropping the price. They either apologise for it, justify it, or worse, they discount before the client even asks because they're panicking. Okay? Let me show you how to deliver your price so it lands with 0 resistance. So this is exactly what this looks like in real life. Last month, I got on a call with a recruitment agency owner and used this exact script. And when I got to the why now, the golden snitch, he said to me, we're manually processing 600 applications a week and my team is drowning. I quoted 18K for that automation. I delivered it in 9 days. He paid the invoice the same day. No negotiation. No, let me think about it. That's what happens when you filter instead of pitch. The right clients don't need convincing. They need confirmation that you can solve their problem. That's it. The energy that you bring to the price is the close. I'm not going to lie, this is the most important part of this video because this is where everybody falls down. Here's exactly how I would deliver the price, word for word. So based on everything that you've shared, our screening solution would be a great fit. It's $10,000. If that's something that you're ready to move forward with, I'll send over the next steps. Then I stop talking. Silence. No justifying. No, but here's what you get. No nervous energy. No twitching. I'm sat there, calm, confidence, silence. When you state your price and then immediately start explaining it, you signal that you don't believe it's worth the number you just said. But when you state it and go quiet, you create space for them to process. And in that space, they either decide yes or they surface their real objection. Either way, you win. Because now you're dealing with truth, not stalling. And what if they hesitate? Here's the move that most people miss. If you've ever had someone say, I need to think about it, and then ghost you, the next part is literally built for you. The objection flip. How do we flip the objection, right? Objections are buying signals. If you know how to respond, they're buying signals. Let's say they say, I need to think about it. Most people panic. They start offering payment plans, discounts, or they say, sure, take your time, and lose all momentum. Everything you've built up, you've lost. Here's what I say instead. Totally fair. Just so I can understand, what part do you want to think through more? The process, the result, or the investment? Watch what this does. It pulls the real concern to the surface without adding pressure. They can't hide behind, I need to think about it anymore. They have to tell you what's actually stopping them. And if they say the investment, you know it's a pricing objection. If they say the process, they don't trust your method. And if they say the result, they're not convinced it'll work. Now you can address the real issue instead of guessing. So, you thought I was going to stop there. I'm not. Here's what you say next based off of their answer. If they say the investment, I respond, I get it. 10K is a real number. Let me ask you this. If we don't solve you this problem, what's it going to cost you over the next 6 months? Most of the time they realise the cost of inaction is way higher than the investment. If they say the process, then I say, fair enough. What specifically about the process concerns you? The timeline, the implementation, or how we work together? Then I address the exact concern, not all of them. If they say the result, that's actually the easiest one to answer because I understand what result would you need in order for this to be worth it for you. Then you show them the proof that matches exactly what they just described. That's how you flip it. Here's literally what changed my whole trajectory of my life. I stopped trying to convince people to work with me and I started filtering for people who were ready to work with. This script isn't about closing everyone. It's about closing the right ones fast, clean, and without desperate energy that repels high-ticket buyers. You're not a salesperson begging for business. You're a strategist evaluating fit between the two of you. When you show up like that, everything changes. The calls get shorter, the close rate goes up, and you stop feeling like you're chasing people who were never going to buy. Remember that 15K deal I told you about at the beginning? 23 minutes? That happened because I stopped pitching and started filtering. Now you've got the exact 4-part script, the authority opener, the belief shifting probe, the calm close, and the objection flip. So here's your move. You can use this exact script on your very next sales call and watch what happens and come back and tell me that you want them. If you're wondering how to find the leads, I've got a lot of Upwork videos that I'll drop in the description below. I've closed over 100 million deals. I learned this technique along the way. This works every single time. My name's Michael Elliott. Like, and I'll catch you in the next one.